Alright guys, so we got huge progress for a load menu. I did get that zooming part mostly finished. I tinkered with it a little bit, added my own script a little bit as well, so I got things to move and resize and stuff like that. But I still need to introduce a pause menu. I've been moving things over from the original project to the new project in pieces because I knew I needed a main menu and new game creation menu and a load game. So that's basically what I've worked on the last couple weeks, and it's been a long journey. The load menu especially, it's been a really hard thing to actually implement, but I did get there eventually. So we'll cover everything from what I did for the main menu, and in game I'll kind of cover the zooming mechanics so far. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the new game. So we can go in here, and the first one is the save name. This is a name given to the folder where it will be generating, and we'll pop that up in the screen in just a second here. For now, what we'll do is we'll just call it test, and this name doesn't really matter because it's not being seen by the player or anything like that, but it is important for storing the actual data for the maps and stuff like that. So we can use capital letters, we can use lowercase letters, numbers, and underscores. For example, we can go with like test_1 and that would work. Spring, this controls some of the mechanics for the actual map itself. So for example, spring has a lighter green texture for the grass. There will be different mechanics and textures for each season. I already have most of the mechanics figured out for this part. It's just a matter of implementing multiple versions of the textures and stuff. So it will take a little bit more time to actually develop the game, doing seasons and stuff like that, but I think it will be well worth it in the long run. Hopefully I will be able to figure out some AI pathfinding and different weather mechanics and stuff like that later on. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to actually implement right now. You know, I've been experimenting with the textures and stuff. Spring has light green textures, summer has dark green, fall has red, kind of like an orangey red color, and then winter has like snow almost to it. So we can go ahead and create maybe a summer one. And then there on the other side here we have map size. So this is how many blocks by how many blocks. Basically one block is, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head how big. We've been experimenting with just a single block in most of the previous videos. So 5x5 is like literally 5 of those chunks by 5 of those chunks. So that's pretty big size. It does take a while to get from one end to the other. The other sizes here are a little bit larger too. So 10x10, 15x15, 20x20, and 25x25. So we'll just go with a 5x5 for now. The gender, this is not set up for anything specifically right now, but I do want to make this part of a character creation screen. So we'll probably be branching that off into its own page eventually, as well as the player name, so we can kind of control more characteristics of the player, maybe the pose or the actual model of the textures being used for character creation. But right now this doesn't do really anything. And then our player name, this is required field. We can have a maximum of 20 characters, capital letters, lowercase letters, and spaces. So we can name our player something like Bob. We can click start, and then it will generate the map. So we will going through a transition, and as you can see, the grass color is a lot darker. I want to also add other mechanics like tree colors and other things like that that are affected. Maybe during the winter the roads are a little bit snowy and stuff like that, or during the fall there's like leaves piled up along the curb and stuff. Just some smaller details like that I think could really go the long way for generating. So I do have the zooming mechanics set up. We can zoom in and out using the plus and minus icon, and this also works for the tab one as well. So we have these two keys. So as you can see, the chunks themselves are generating in next to each other, right next to the roads and stuff like that, and then other chunks are connected to those. So that's basically what's going on with that one. Right now I don't have a pause menu. I'm going to be working on that next week or this week coming up. I'm not sure. There's a lot of work to be done on that part alone, and then we'll be able to start saving in-game as well. So that will be good. So if we go and boot up the game again, we can go to the load screen this time and check out that part. The load screen, it gives the player name, the season that it's currently in, the date of what the game is. Very Stardew Valley kind of feel to it. So the year 1, there's the month that it's currently in. So month 8. Months are random for the season. So if you select summer, it will go anywhere from June, July, or August. So it will choose one of those months randomly. And then the day is also randomized for what day it will be actually when you're playing the game. So you can delete the save. A pop-up will happen. It's like, are you sure you want to delete City 2? And you can click cancel and it won't delete it. If you want to, then you can click OK. And loading in, we can actually test this one out. And this is also a 5x5 map. So we can see that the size is quite big here. And we'll just walk down a couple blocks and show you that there is generation here. So you can see it's a pretty big map. Walking this way has a few more chunks on these sides, and this is only like a 4x4 right now. So if we go further, then we go to 3x3 and then 4x4 and then 5x5. So currently all this is being loaded in at the same time. So I want to see if I can't improve some of the mechanics and stuff for things that are more heavy for generation and stuff. And I still want to generate the buildings and stuff randomly. So I'll probably create structures themselves and then plop them down based on a random size or something like that. So I have all this area to work with on the bottom here, and then at the back here, I think this is going to be visual kind of thing. I might make some city blocks or alleyways or something like that to make it a little bit more unique, but pretty much the front of the block will be where all the stores and stuff are. And there's just one more thing to show for the load menu. So we have a scroll system as well, so you can kind of see that the menu themselves scroll. And you can go back as well if you want to go back to the previous page. So you can do that. And if you wanted to delete something, we could delete it and click OK. And then we'll update the list so it doesn't have that particular one. You can delete this one as well. And we'll actually remove the folder, the save folder, completely from the save location. So you don't need to worry about the files still being there and stuff like that. And to load it, obviously I've shown that part. So that's basically what I've been working on. Anyhow, that's all that I have for the moment, and I'll be working on that pause screen next week or this week coming up, and trying to get all that sorted out so we can go ahead and start saving in-game and stuff like that, and then I can slowly work on other features as I progress. But that's all for today. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click that bell icon to stay notified, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace out.